The top stories for the hour. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launched this year's Green Legacy campaign in Desai. And Ethiopia reveals plan for implementing African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Hello and very warm welcome to ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism from the capital Addis Ababa with the news. I'm Binyam Getana along with the technical crew. To stay tuned here now, the news in brief. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launched this year Green Legacy planting cycle in the high town of South Wallo Zone, Amara region. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed highlighted the multifaceted benefits of Green Legacy initiative, stating by planting we're not only greening the country but also energizing all sectors of the economy. The Premier also visited the progress of ongoing development projects in and around Desai city and subsequently met with the residents of Desai. During his visits, he has observed impressive development activities carried out everywhere. There is no doubt that if we work together, we'll hand over a prosperous Ethiopia to our children, the Prime Minister stated in a social media post. Abiy traveled to Desai along with his top government official to launch annual Green Legacy planting campaign. Meanwhile, a week ago, while announcing the commencement of the 2024 planting cycle, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed confirmed the ambitious goal of reaching 40 billion seedlings out of the nation's overall target of 50 billion. To achieve this goal, we need to collectively plant 7.5 billion seedlings this planting cycle. He noted Abiy underscored the importance of this initiative, stating, for anyone who wants to leave a legacy for future generations, we must invest in the future today. Moving on, former African football stars and cultural figures have visited the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, marking a significant moment in the country's effort to showcase its landmark projects. The delegation, which includes Nigerian football legend Nwankwo Kanu and Daniel Amokachi, as well as Senegalese star Henry Camara, was given a comprehensive briefing on the dam's construction progress and its importance to the Ethiopian people. The tour was led by Ambassador Nasser Sejali, Minister of Tourism, and Abraham Balai, Minister of Irrigation and Lowlands. According to information from the Ministry of Tourism, the visiting group also comprised artists and fashion designers, highlighting the diverse nature of the delegation. During the visit, the ministers explained the construction process of the dam and elaborated on its significance for Ethiopia's development aspiration. The GERD, which has been a source of both national pride and regional integration, is said to become Africa's largest hydroelectric power plant upon completion. The presence of these African sports and cultural icons at the dam site not only adds a new dimension to the project's visibility, but also potentially helps in fostering a sense of Pan-African solidarity around Ethiopia's development goals.
To enter in this Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. So yeah, guys, we just entered this Bwindi. Yeah, so tell us about this place.
So Bwindi Impenetrable National Park is a rain forest. In Bwindi we have mountain gorillas, duikers, wild elephants, we have monkeys, and so many animals like nocturnal animals. So we are now at a higher altitude of 1,165 above the sea level.
guys, can you see the broccoli trees?
The trail soon turns left onto a winding path deeper into the forest. It crosses the Munyaga River 3 times before presenting you with the first waterfall.
When I'm protecting this forest, guarding it against enemies, I am not guarding it for my own benefit. I'm guarding it for the whole world.
Farid mguu sawa. Mguu pande. Mguu sawa.
The landscape is really breathtaking.
Welcome back, dear ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching ABC World from the capital, Addis Ababa, as the news continues. Ethiopia has introduced a national strategy for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The Ethiopian Policy Study Institute stated that Ethiopia's national strategy for the implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area is crucial not only for Ethiopia but also for other African countries. A consultative forum was held on national strategy here in Addis Ababa Saturday, and our reporter Tigis Nisa has compiled the following story. Have a look.
Envisioning to connect 1.3 billion people across the continent, the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, is a landmark economic initiative that has an immense potential to transform the African continent. A consultative forum on the development of Ethiopia's national AfCFTA implementation strategy has kicked off. Speaking on the occasion, Minister of Ethiopian Regional Integration and Trade Ministry, Dr. Gebremasqel Cala, reiterated that in introducing the strategy, it is aimed at identifying and harnessing Ethiopia's trade advantages in AfCFTA.
In producing this strategy, our aim is to identify and leverage Ethiopia's competitive advantages, enhance our production and trade capabilities with the AfCFTA, and ensure that all segments of our society can participate in and benefit from the economic opportunities it presents. The combined experience and expertise represented in this room today is unique and powerful. To harness it to serve our higher goals, let us engage in meaningful and constructive dialogue, share our insights freely and generously, and forge a shared understanding of the strategic priorities and actions that Ethiopia needs to undertake and position itself as a key player in the AfCFTA.
Approached by ABC Director General for Policy Studies Institute, Professor Beyene Petros, for his part stressed that the outcome of the introduced strategy not only benefits Ethiopia, but also other African countries.
The outcome of this would be of immense advantage for Ethiopia and other African countries, because when you have the barriers all removed, and what's called the entrepreneurs, Ethiopian as well as other African countries, can freely operate, that would open up huge opportunity to boost the economic development of the country.
In his keynote speech, Director of Regional Integration and Trade Division at UNECA, Dr. Stephen Karinji, indicated that realization of the promises of AfCFTA is solely dependent on the implementation of it, commending Ethiopia's introduction of the strategy.
At the Economic Commission for Africa, we have done a lot of cutting-edge research that has demonstrated the immense promise of the AfCFTA to transform African economies in terms of industrialization, economic diversification, employment, and overall economic welfare. But what our research has equally demonstrated is that the realization of these tantalizing promises of the AfCFTA is dependent on one critical factor, and that is implementation. That is why the national AfCFTA implementation strategies are central to the AfCFTA discourse. And that is also why I am so delighted to see the Ethiopian Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration making the development of the national AfCFTA implementation strategy a priority.
The forum brought together policymakers, government officials, business leaders, and other stakeholders as well.
And now a recap of the top stories once again. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launched this year's Green Legacy campaign in Desai. And Ethiopia reveals plan for implementing African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Once again, you've been watching ABC World. Thank you for your good company and enjoy the rest of the program from ABC World. Goodbye for now.